Freezing everyone. Chapter 1. Santa meets Mary. This tale started a long time ago when a man discovered he had a gift like no other. His name was Saint Nick, and he liked to help the less fortunate kids by giving them presents on Christmas. Nick grew up in an adoption agency. He was too old to want, so Nick sat there until he was a young adult. Nick knew once he turned 18, he would have to leave. With no experience of life, he was forced to defend on his own, so the day came, he was 18, standing right in front of the doorway, looking outside where his new journey awaits. Sadly, the adoption agency didn't teach him a thing about life. Nick got released during the winter time. "Why is it so cold?" he said. He walked all over town with only his thin jacket on. People walked right past him thinking he loved Christmas like all kids do. No one asked if he needed help, or a place to stay. Nick eventually found a nice spot with a lot of other people. It was under a bridge. People were covered up with their blankets by a warm fire. Nick was isolated with no fire, or a blanket. A woman saw a young man shivering in the cold. She went over to him and said, "What's your name?" He responded, "My name is Nick," as his teeth was chattering from the pure cold. The woman said, "My name is Mary, I see you're cold. Do you not have a cover?" Nick was shaking with his arms folded across his chest to try to keep warm. Mary saw that, so she said, "Here, you can share mine with me." Mary covered Nick with her blanket. She said, "I'm not going to let you freeze to death. You're only about 110 pounds," as her arms went around Nick's body to keep them both warm. The next day Nick and Mary woke up. "Hey Nick, get up. Let's go." "Where are we going?" said Nick. "It's breakfast time. Come on, let's go. You don't want to be late." "Trust me, all the great food will surely be gone," said Mary. Nick got up cold as ever with only his jacket made for the summertime. Mary and Nick rushed to the free breakfast church where they enjoyed a nice meal. Ham, turkey, orange juice, cookies, milk, and cranberry sauce. "Why are we getting all of this?" said Nick. Mary paused eating and said, "It's Christmas." Nick was confused. "What is Christmas?" "Christmas is a holiday that many people get together with love and gifts. I love Christmas. If I could have it my way, I would give all the young boys and girls toys until their heart is content," Mary said. "Why would you give so many people gifts when you see how they treat us?" "What do you mean? Look around you. You have a lot to be thankful for, like this meal you're eating. Me, last night you were shivering. We all need some belief and hope, don't you think? Now eat up, I have something to show you," Mary said. They both finished up their breakfast. "Come, let me show you something. It's a cool place, I like to go during this time of year," Mary said. While they were running down a street in the pillow of snow, Nick saw a beautiful warm house where the window was massive compared to the front door. He stopped running and stared at the family inside, thinking about how awesome it would be to be there. "Hey, why you stop for? Come on, let's go, for all the good stuff is taken," Mary said. Nick ran along, but not forgetting about his new goal he set. Mary said, "We're here, look at all the things you can pick from," as they arrived at a new church almost out of breath. "Look, here's a sweater, put it on. You need it, you know, running around town with just a jacket on." "Thank you, no one never gave me a gift before," Nick said. "See, people do care, you just have to find the right place," Mary said. Nick and Mary went back under the bridge where they enjoyed each other's company, and exchanged gifts. It was a Merry Christmas for even the unfortunate ones. Many gifts were being passed around, no matter how poor the gifts were. The only thing that mattered is it came from the heart. Chapter 2. Silver Bells. Time had passed, Nick and Mary became more than friends. This Christmas felt different for the young Nick. "Merry Christmas," Nick said. "Merry Christmas what? Why did you say my name?" Mary said. "Because you are my Christmas gift, Mary," Nick said. Mary's cheeks gushed red. Okay, it's time to get up. Let's go and see what the world has in store for us this Christmas, Nick said. Nick wasn't the same as he was last Christmas. Mary changed his mind. She was the gift he needed, so Mary proceeded to get up from her cover. All right, what we do now? Mary asked. We go see the world, Nick said. All right, come on. Let's go, Mary said. They ran off to do their normal Christmas routine. Mary and Nick had free breakfast at church. Then set off to go to a new place called the rec center. I'm going to make you the best Christmas present ever. This place was needed. Giving every little child something to look forward to, Mary said. Yeah, meet you inside, Nick said. They began learning how to make toys and furniture. Nick was extremely good at it. Hey, Mary, now, I can make your dream come true. I can give every young child presents, Nick said. I love you so much, Nick. Look, I'm not that bad either. Together we will help everyone in need, Mary said. Nick and Mary left the rec center with their newfound skills of crafting. They ran back to the church to pick out one another's gift. Nick and Mary went back under the bridge where they met back with the other less fortunate people. Hey, everyone, I got gifts for all. Here goes a gift for you, and one for you. Ho, ho, Merry Christmas. Gifts for all, Nick said with excitement. Thank you, Nick, such kind-hearted, Mary said as she was watching him give everyone he could a Christmas present. Later that night, Mary put them together a barrel fire. Nick and Mary sat close by the fire holding each other in their arms. Something happened. Something in the sky Nick never saw before. What's that? Nick said. That's a wishing star. Quick, make a wish, Mary said. Nick closed his eyes and made a wish. The wishing star turned silver and a few people under the bridge felt a magical presence touch them. What was that feeling? Nick said. I don't know. Mary said. Both Mary and Nick felt jolly. Then their 100-pound bodies grew 3+ sizes. Their jolliness came from within, giving them a new look at life. I can hear and see everything. I know what everyone wants. I feel the magic at my fingertips. Mary, do you feel this way too? Nick said. Yes, I do. What did you wish for? Mary said. I wished to make you happy, Mary, Nick said. The night ended. Nick went to sleep. His dreams were of everyone's wants and needs. Waking up the next day, he decided to work on his skills he learned from the rec center. He quickly found out that wishing star gave him more than just a jolly spirit. He pulled out a silver bell and stared directly into it. Oh my, he saw much more than people's wants and needs. He saw amazing magic he could use to make Mary's dream come true. Nick and Mary started working on their skills every day until Nick told Mary about his idea. Chapter 3. The creation of Santa's workshop. Hey, Mary, I've had an idea I've been working on for the past year. You remember the day we stopped right in front of a beautiful house with the humongous window? It was a happy family inside, and I wanted that for us. I want us to be that family, so I've been working on something for the past year after I received my magic. Come here, let me show you, Nick said. Nick took Mary's hand and he showed her a trick he'd learned last year. Nick opened a doorway. It filled the heart with happiness. The glow was a beautiful green hue with a hit of red lights and sparkles. Mary started to gush red and smile. It feels like Christmas, Mary said. I know, this is what you wanted, and I love to see you happy. You know, your cheeks filled up red the first time we met, Nick said. Oh, Nick, thank you, Mary said. Mary looked into Nick's eyes and saw the love he has for her. Mary was very happy with this moment. Not even knowing about the special gift Nick worked on for a year. Come on, let's go, Nick said as he was holding Mary's hand walking through the portal. Merry Christmas, Nick said with a deep, jolly voice. Oh my, Mary said, happy and amazed that Nick's voice filled her with jolliness. Look at this place, it's gorgeous. You did all this yourself for me, Mary said. Yes, it's what you want, right? Said Nick. As they were holding hands looking at the place Nick made for Mary. Hey, Mary, I really did make this place for you. Let me tell you what I've been doing this past year. The first thing I wanted to do was build a house, Nick said. That's a really big house, Mary said. Wondering why they would need a house of that size. Yes, I wanted to make it this big because we're going to do your dream. Remember when we first met, you told me you wanted to help all the kids in the world. Well, now we can, Nick said. As Nick looked into Mary's eyes, they connected. I built this house to have a toy-making factory inside, so we can give toys to all the little kids in the world, Nick said. A little man came up to Nick and Mary. She thought it was a kid at first. Welcome to the North Pole, the little happy man said. Hey, Nick, who is this man? I've never seen no one with pointy ears before. Mary said. Chapter 4. The toy-making factory begins. Hi, my name is Krampus, ma'am. Oh, how nice to meet you, Mary said. Nick leaned over and whispered, all right, Krampus, did you guys get done? Yes, we did, sir. Krampus said. Yes, we did what? Mary asked. I have something nice to show you, Mary. Me and the elves built it for you, Nick said. Nick got his surprise ready for Mary. It was 9 special reindeer he got together and put in a line. Nick knew Mary would love this gift. He always listened to her stories about her favorite animal. Ta-da! Look, your favorite animal with magical powers, Nick said. Nick was very happy that he found magical reindeer at the North Pole. How did you find this place? It's incredible, so much snow. My favorite animal, a deer. They have magical powers just like us. Why, I'm not cold. Mary said, amazed and pondering as she was walking around the new toy factory. Wait. What are elves? Mary asked. Elves are magical beings that live at the North Pole. I don't know why we can only see this place, Nick said. The only way you can see us is if you have a magical bell, silver or brass, Krampus said. All the elves came up to show Nick and Mary their magical bells. Nick and Mary began to understand what they'd been blessed with. You have a whole lot of power, sir. Krampus said. Nick and the elves finished up that night with building Mary's dream. The elves looked at Nick as the true leader of the North Pole because no one in history had a silver bell but Nick and Mary. The power of a silver bell meant magical powers that can alter life. The elves thought it was a myth until Nick and Mary. So, what happens now? Krampus asked. We get ready for next Christmas, Nick said. Next year came around. Nick and Mary was teaching the elves how to make toys. Krampus was outstanding at his newfound job. He was twice as fast as the other elves. Nick saw it was potential in Krampus, so Nick promoted him to his right hand. Krampus couldn't make his bell appear, so he never understood his power limits. The night passed. Tomorrow night I will be going out to everyone's house to give them presents. I hope people won't be freaked out by this event, Nick said. Are you taking Krampus along with you? Mary asked. No, I need him here with all the other elves. Just in case I need more toys. He's good, you know, Nick said. Is the reindeer able to fly yet? Mary asked. Yes, I worked with them all year around. They're still a little shaken up about humans being able to understand them. I'm sure they will do fine, Nick said. Chapter 5. The First Santa Christmas. Nick set off on his first adventure not knowing the consequences, or effects he was going to have on life. At 12 o'clock when Nick arrived at his first house, he landed on the roof with his new trained reindeer. The landing was successful except for a few reindeer arguing and butting heads. Hey, knock it off, we got a job to do, said Nick. Nick eventually got the reindeer to calm down. Nick hoped all the noise his reindeer caused didn't wake up the household. Listening on the roof for any sign of movement in the house. Nick heard nothing. The coast was clear, so he proceeded into. Wait, how can I get in? I can't just walk through the front door, said Nick. Nick thought hard about this. It was a puzzle to him, so he asked his silver bell. Nick's powers responded with a crazy idea. How about going down the chimney? What? That's just preposterous. I'm a big guy, it's no way I can fit down any chimney, said Nick. Nick's silver bell told him to do it anyway, so he did. When Nick stood in front of the chimney, he tried to wrap his head around fitting into a small square hole called a chimney. Nick's powers grabbed him off the ground and he started to go towards the small gaping hole. No, what are you doing? I can't fit in there. Wait, said Nick. Nick's legs went down the chimney first. Nick's powers stopped pulling him at the waist. You see? Now I'm stuck. I told you so. I couldn't fit, said Nick. The silver bell did one final tug. Nick's upper body squoze through the chimney like magic. Nick was in front of the fireplace. His powers teleported him from the chimney to the ground floor. How did you do that? Asked Nick. Nick saw a Christmas tree that captivated him, so Nick thought to put the present he made under the tree. Nick realized it was only one child in that household and she didn't have enough presents, so Nick used his powers to make her more on the spot. Wait. What do we have here? Said Nick. There were leftover chocolate chip cookies on a saucer next to an untouched glass of milk. Nick used his powers once again to see what the cookies and milk was still doing on the table. Nick saw a vision of the cookies and milk being for the little girl, but she had to leave them on the table by the Christmas tree. It was way past her bedtime, so Nick saw no harm in taking a bite of one of those delicious cookies and having a sip of milk. Okay, it's time for me to get out this house. One down, tons more to go, said Nick. Nick realized he had to do only the United States this night, because other countries have their Christmas on another day. Now the only thing I must worry about is time. How am I going to give presents to everyone tonight? Said Nick. Nick's silver bell spoke to him, showing Nick that he can stop time. With new confidence, Nick set off to the second house. The reindeer were more reluctant this time around. Hey, that's it, we're turning back around and I'm taking you guys back home. I mean it, no more help from me anymore. You guys are going to be on your own, said Nick. The reindeer settled down and was compliant once more. This second house had a family of 5, Mom, Dad and 3 boys. Nick's silver bell showed him everything. Nick knew he had to make this one quick, because this family was light sleepers, so Nick used his powers to portal down the chimney. Nick was startled exiting from the bottom of the chimney. Why are you still up? Asked Nick. Santa. The little boy said. You should be sleeping. You have a big day tomorrow, said Nick, whispering, trying not to wake the other boy's family. My brothers told me you were going to come tonight. Yeah, but I can't give you any presents if you're still awake, Nick said. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Santa, please don't take any of my presents away, said the little boy. The little boy went off to sleep. Nick couldn't stop thinking about who the little boy referred to him as. Who is Santa? Asked Nick. Nick Silver Bell chimed in. Santa is an urban myth that parents tell their kids before bedtime, so they can freely put presents around the tree. So, the urban legend is me? Said Nick. Precise, said the Silver Bell. Nick quickly became accustomed to the name Santa. That name has a nice sound to the ears, especially around Christmas time. Now Nick becoming accustomed to his name Santa. He finishes setting up the presents for the second household. Santa teleported up the chimney and happy to see the reindeer behaving probably. All right, on to the next house, said Nick. The reindeer have more respect for Nick now since he knows he's Santa. Santa visited every house that night, carefully not getting caught by anybody else. That Christmas morning came along. Parents were baffled at the sheer amount of Christmas presents. One scientist had a new technology called a camera. He rigged the camera up to catch his kids opening their presents before Christmas time, but he caught someone else. It was Santa. The scientist couldn't believe what he was seeing. Santa was no fool, so he used the camera to his advantage. Santa used his powers to make the picture fuzzy. Santa knew how the camera worked, because of his silver bell. Santa has the power of knowledge that allows him to see anything and understand how it works. Time passed and people started getting used to the fairy tale man named Santa. No longer does anyone see Santa as an intruder that came into their homes. Everyone accepted Santa, even the church was getting toys from Santa. A nun knew who Santa was. It had Nick written all over it. The toy-making style was too like Nick. The nun was the one who taught Nick and Mary how to make toys, so she ordered all the other nuns to tell a story about Santa as Saint Nick. Chapter 6. 200 years later. Santa was doing great, but Nick didn't know he had created an enemy along the way. His name is the abominable snowman. He hated Christmas because everyone saw him as a monster. Nobody wanted to be his friend, so alone he was hating Christmas, mad at whoever celebrated this holiday. "No one likes me, I hate Christmas," said abominable snowman, yelling in an empty room with his hands and his face towards the sky. When Santa was going house to house, he realizes that some kids were special. Some kids reacted to his silver bell. Santa realized that he wasn't the only human with bell powers anymore. Time after time passed. Santa collected all the kids who had the power of the bells and brought them to the North Pole. Santa trained them to use their silver bells. "I can't believe there's more people like Nick," said Krampus. They lived with Santa at the North Pole, where they learned to help Nick and the elves with Christmas. Krampus was really close to Nick. He was the one who really put the time and effort to teach the new kids about their silver bells. The first bell kid to arrive at the North Pole was a young boy named Melody. His special gift is to play the violin that could manipulate life with every song. Quick backstory: Melody stopped a church from catching on fire by using his violin to reverse the fire and healed all of the damages the fire caused. The people stuck in the church were panicking, because all their hard work was about to be burned up into flames. Melody was only 6 years old at the time. Can you imagine a little boy so strong and brave summoned up a magical bell-powered violin to put out the flames? His grandmother saw everything. She knew how special he could become one day. Santa ended seeing Melody's gift and gave him a choice. Melody wanted to stay with his family. Melody started using his powers more as time went on. His grandmother taught him how to really play the violin. She knew his gift was special. "Melody, sweetie, I know it's hard, but you have an amazing gift. I believe in you. Baby, you're special. You have the power to stop the worst without violence. If only," she paused, understanding he didn't understand. "In time you will know," Melody's grandmother said with a special look in her eye, knowing that her grandson will grow up to be special. "But grandmother, I can't. I keep trying, but I just can't heal the broken wine glasses," said Melody with his head down and violin on the floor. Melody's grandmother took a breath and looked at her special boy. "Come here, Melody, you are special. I'll tell you what, I'll help you. We'll both play the violin together," said grandmother. Months went past. Melody really loved playing with his grandmother. With her, Melody accomplished everything. Practicing every day, Melody looked forward to seeing his grandmother, but Melody's grandmother's final day came. She died of old age, being sick. Outside of her funeral, he cried and waited until the ceremony was over. Everyone went over to discuss plans about what was next. Melody was alone with his grandmother, so he pulled out his violin and started playing. "Please, grandmother, wake up. Please," crying helplessly away. "Why aren't you getting up?" sobbed Melody. Melody dropped the violin and took off running through the open field, heartbroken that he dedicated his life to playing the violin. Melody thought it was his fault. He figured if he'd, "Sweetie, sweetie, come back," Melody's mother called as she was running after him. Moments later, Melody's mom found him sitting by a tree. "Sweetie, I understand you loved your grandma. I loved her too, but you can't run away like that anymore." That day, Melody's silver bell broke and was forgotten. Chapter 7. Years later, back to Santa. SPTF, Superpower Police Task Force, agents were celebrating Christmas at their precinct with music and decorations. Owl was singing. Accuracy and Uranium was decorating the Christmas tree. Timer was being himself, running across the hall decorating the whole building. Morph walked in with her best friend, her pet bear named Animal. Sky Glider's attention was focused on a Christmas toy binocular that showed water seams pictures. Melody, on the other hand. "Hey, Todd, wake up. You were talking in your sleep again." "You kept saying Melody in your sleep," said Timer. "Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, my grandmother was the only one I'd allowed to call me Melody." These S.P.T.F agents, Owl, Accuracy, Uranium, Timer, Sky Glider, Morph, Animal, and Melody were the only ones at work today. The day was slow, so no one complained. "All right everyone, I have to do your guys' reports updated," said Melody. Owl is a woman that has the power to magically pull out her wings when ready to take off. Owl is semi-human, and she is infinitely jointed, means all her bones are double jointed. Owl's father is the Griffin from the Forbidden Lands. At full power, Owl becomes a great magic and infinite wisdom being. Accuracy is woman who has the power to never miss. She is a rare human called a Deadeye. Accuracy is a big kid at heart. Uranium is a 6 feet 5 inches man. His body has little pieces of uranium embedded into his skin, making him indestructible with the unstable effect blowing up. His power of strength is incredible. Timer is a young boy with the power to manipulate time and space. Timer is only able to use a fraction of his powers, only allowing him to run fast. His sister has the same ability. Sky Glider is a goofy man with an advanced sky suit. He is one of the few humans that works for the S.P.T.F precinct. Morph is a little 13-year-old girl that came from a native Indian tribe. She was born with the power of Chi. Morph was born right beside a bear that was also giving birth. Morph grew up with the bear that she considered her best friend. Morph named her bear Animal. Together have the power to morph together and become one. A Bigfoot with superpowers. Melody grew older and Santa's name began to become more of an urban legend. It is Christmas Day. Melody kept having dreams about a black girl who loved to dance to his music. Melody kept telling his co-workers Owl, Accuracy, Uranium, Sky Glider, Morph, and Animal, her bear, that he thinks he knew how to play the violin, and he was special at it. Melody decided one day, just for fun, he went to see a hypnotist, because he kept having a recurring dream about a woman. Melody went under hypnosis. Everything started coming back to him about his childhood, so his bell unlocked, and Melody got his powers back. When Melody went back to the SPTF precinct, Melody told all the agents that he knew that he had powers. A gateway of magic appeared at the SPTF precinct. Melody knew what it was, and he went through the portal. A few SPTF agents went through the portal with him, including his soon-to-be partner Morph that he was training to be an agent. They ended up at the North Pole where they saw all these magical things. An agent named Accuracy knew off back where they were. Nick came across the once young boy he met a long time before. Accuracy knew he was Santa off back. Chapter 8. The group tries to help the abominable snowman. Santa. Accuracy streamed. Everyone else said that's not Santa. Santa is not real. I am Santa. And Melody, I need your help. I need your help to save Christmas, said Santa in a helpless voice. Of course, we will help you, Santa, said Accuracy. Okay, thank you. Young lady Santa said. Just remember me this Christmas, said Accuracy. Melody stayed behind with the rest of the shaken up elves. Do you think Santa's coming back? Asked the elves. I'm pretty sure Santa's coming back, said Melody. Santa caught all of them up to speed. Everyone I know got caught by the abominable snowman. He put all my friends into icicles. I tried to plead with him, but I swear that beast has no boundaries. Come on, follow me, I can use your help with him. Just to let you know, the abominable snowman has a bad temper. I mean the absolute worst. Why does the abominable snowman hate you? Asked Owl. He hates me because I help people on Christmas. He has no friends. Every time someone goes to speak to him, he has an abominable fit. He won't give anyone a chance, said Santa. All right, let's head out, said Santa. Wait. We need a cool name we're going to call our group, said Accuracy. Group, Santa replied. Lame, said Accuracy. I really don't care at this point, I just want to get this over with, said Owl. Thank you for the help, said Santa sarcastically. Hey, Santa, how did Miss Claus get taken in the first place? And isn't she as strong as you? Asked Accuracy. No, Mary is almost as strong as me. We're neck and neck, but the abominable snowman is as strong as me, said Santa. For your second question. Mary went to try to give the abominable snowman a present personality, but he froze her, and when I came back to the North Pole, everybody was neither gone, nor frozen. Me, or the abominable snowman can't undo each other powers, said Santa. I'm cold. Hey, Owl, why you not freezing your butt off? Asked Accuracy. I can withstand -76 degrees F, said Owl. Polycarp, that means you can swim in the coldest water in the world, said Morph. I pretty sure it's called the Antarctic sea ice, said Uranium. Yeah, I actually did go swimming in that sea. Yeah, I also caught a cold that day too, said Owl. That's nuts, said Accuracy. Hey, Morph, why you won't fusion with your bear? Asked Skyglider. Well, her name is Animal not Bear, and I'm okay. I'm using my chi, but sadly I'm about to run out, said Morph. Are we there yet? My mother's going to kill me. I'm supposed to be home with family for the holidays. You know, I can't even say I'm running a little late, because I'm super fast, said Timer. Relax, you're a superhero. I'm pretty sure your mother will understand, said Owl. Ah. I'm still cold, said Accuracy. Why we got to walk there for anyway? Asked Morph. Because my magic bell interferes with his bell powers. Then neither of our powers would work. That's why I asked you guys for help, said Santa. Wait, you can't stop him, because your powers don't work around him? Asked Owl. No, my powers don't, and I'm not about to step toe-to-toe with that beast. Hold on everyone, I'm going to use my powers to warm you guys up, said Santa. Wait. You could have done this a long time ago, said Owl with her head twisted backwards, and looking directly at Santa. Hey, Uranium, you okay back there? Asked Owl. Yes, I'm cool. I just don't have anything to talk about. The whole group Santa got together, went to try to talk some sense into the abominable snowman. Along the way, Santa met with Krampus. Hey, Krampus. I thought the abominable snowman got you, said Santa. No sir. I barely got away by the skin of my teeth, said Krampus. The group continue with Krampus walking to the snowy mountain where the big bad abominable snowman lived. They can hear angry screams coming from the abominable snowman's house. The abominable snowman was in pain of a broken heart, so they finally approached the abominable snowman's front door on top of a snowy mountain. Knock knock. Hey. Abominable snowman, it's me Santa, please open the door. Come out to speak to us, said Santa. Leave me alone, I'm not giving your friends back. They're my friends now. You can't take people and make them be your friends. You put them in icicles. What kind of friend is that, said Santa. No, said the abominable snowman, shaking his head. If I let Miss Claus go, she isn't going to be my friend anymore. That's not true, said Santa. The abominable snowman started yelling, I hate Christmas. I hate Christmas. I hate Christmas. With balled up fist repeatedly hitting the ground. The group realized the mountain started shaking. The group yelled with their hands toward the abominable snowman. Hey! Please stop! The whole group yelled. After the abominable snowman had his fit, he realized what he'd done. The mountain began to shake. There was a tumbling sound nearby. Everyone paused in their tracks, waiting for something to happen. The abominable snowman had frozen everyone that Santa knew. He felt, why should Santa have friends when he couldn't? Oh, oopsie. The abominable snowman said. The abominable snowman looked up at the highest point of the mountain and saw the avalanche coming down on top of them. Now you, see. Look what you've done, having a bad temper all the time. Now look what you've done. You've gotten all of us into some big trouble, said Santa. If I can't have any friends, you can't have a happy Christmas, said the abominable snowman, yelling at Santa. The abominable snowman looked back up at the mountain, but it was too late. The abominable snowman was the first to get gobbled by the avalanche. Run! Said Santa. Chapter 9. Melody's Bell Power Shine. The avalanche was coming down fast towards the group. They all were running down the mountain. Krampus was falling behind, he was just too short. His legs can only travel so much distance. Krampus was the second to get swallowed by the avalanche. No. Krampus, said Santa. We gotta keep moving, Santa said Accuracy. The rest of the group started to run out of breath. Timer was fast, but he discovered snow slowed him down tremendously, so he was the third to get swallowed by the avalanche. All men were losing everyone, said Accuracy. Morph hoped on Animal's back. Animal is a bear, so running in snow was no problem for them too. Animal and Morph passed Sky Glider. Sky Glider was trying to run in the snow, but he is only human, and his suit didn't have enough wind behind it to take off flying, so he was the next to fall to the avalanche. Owl turned her head all the way to her backside and saw the avalanche coming close on her. Owl tried to take off flying, but her wings was frosted. The avalanche was right on her tail, so Owl pushed her limits. She was already running fast than she ever did. The fast Owl ever was 60 miles an hour. When she was little, her father once told her she could run up to 100 miles an hour. The avalanche caught Owl is semi-human, so she was fighting to be released from the avalanche, but the avalanche's force was too powerful to overcome. Uranium was next. He saw what happened to Owl and to know the avalanche was right on his tail, so he thought. Uranium knew he was too big and slow to outrun the pace of the avalanche, so he stopped and faced the avalanche head on. Uranium got taken by the avalanche. It was only 4 left out the group: Accuracy, Santa, Morph, and Animal. Luckily Santa's workshop was nearby. Melody and the other elves saw the avalanche behind Santa and the rest of the group. Oh no, what can we do? Said the elves, panicking. My special boy, why did you give up? A voice was heard out of nowhere. Grandmother, said Melody, confused. A bright light appeared in front of Melody. His eyes widened, the light reflected off his face. The wind was blowing his tie and suit backwards. The wind was blowing rapidly for a couple of seconds. When the wind came to a stop, Melody's grandmother appeared. Grandmother, is that really you? Said Melody. Yes, sweetie, it's me, your grandmother. Why did you stop? You are special, said grandmother. But grandmother, you died, and I couldn't bring you back, said Melody. You still shouldn't have given up. Other people need you like your friends, said grandmother. I don't think I can do it, said Melody. You know what, I can help you. We will do it together one more time. Only if you promise you will start using your gift again, said grandmother. Yes, grandmother, yes, said Melody. Melody's grandmother stepped out of the light with her flowing white dress and her violin in hand. Remember how I taught you, Melody? Get into position, said grandmother as she was looking right into Melody's eyes. They started playing the violin together. Melody's violin powers started to activate. He started to undo everything. Everyone that was gobbled up by the avalanche appeared safely back on the snowy ground. Even the people the abominable snowman had frozen, appeared safe with everyone else. That's it? Melody. I knew you could do it, said Melody's grandmother as she was floating and disappearing away. Her hand was the last piece of her that Melody got to hold. The last thing Melody heard. I love you, my special boy, remember your powers has no violence, said grandmother. I love you too, grandmother, said Melody. Wow. You did it, Melody. The group was cheering. Thank you. Without you, I would have never seen my wife again, said Santa. That's interesting, I've never heard of you and Mrs. Claus getting married, said Accuracy. It's a long story, we got married right after we moved to the North Pole, said Santa. The abominable snowman interrupted, I hate Christmas. Why? Asked Accuracy. Nobody wants to be my friend. Santa doesn't even bring me presents, said the abominable snowman. About that, you're always mad. We can't talk to you about anything. We tried to give you a present the first time, but you froze my wife, said Santa. Mrs. Claus butted in. Hey, it's okay, but you do have to give people a chance to speak before you judge. That was wrong, you shouldn't solve your problems with violence, said Mary. But you never gave me a present before, said the abominable snowman. You were on the naughty list until now. Actually, you were good this Christmas, until you pulled this stunt, but all is forgiven, you're welcome to stay at the party if you like, said Santa. Thank you. Thank you, said the abominable snowman, happy as can be, clapping his hands, finally feeling accepted for the first time. Melody finally met the other Bell kids for the first time too. They all had a Christmas party that night inside Santa's workshop. Accuracy was hounding Santa about all the things she wanted for Christmas as she was sitting on his lap. Hey, Owl. I know you're in the hallway, but I've got you a present, said Sky Glider. Sky Glider pulled out a pendant of a custom owl he had made. Oh, thank you, how can I ever repay you? Said Owl. We are standing under a mistletoe, said Sky Glider as he was pointing upwards at the ceiling of the hallway. Ew. No. Gross, said Owl. Timer and Uranium watched on at Owl and Sky Glider. You know they like each other? Timer said. Definitely, said Uranium. Melody was having a conversation with his new young partner. You're going to make a great SPTF agent one day. You handled yourself well out there today, said Melody. Roar, said Animal. Yes, you too, Animal, said Melody. You were pretty awesome out there today too. I didn't think highly of you, but today, I saw someone I want to learn how to be an agent from, said Morph. Roar, said Animal. Animal feels the same way too, said Morph. Later that night they all got around the Christmas tree and sang the Carol of the Bells before the SPTF agents left the wonderful land of Santa. Santa made his Christmas rounds giving parents to all at night. As Santa was taking off with his reindeer, he looked at Mary with the same look in his eye the day they'd first fell in love. Merry Christmas, said Santa. Mary gushed and her cheeks was red like the symbol of love. Accuracy gains something special that night too. Jingle, jingle.